Hey, my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful people, a pleasant evening to you. All right, beautiful people, let me see if I can put an analogy to you before I really get into it. Can you imagine, just think about this. You are eating burgers and fries for breakfast. Then you eat fried chicken for lunch. And then for dinner, you eat pizza. And you do this every day. Let us say for the next 2 to 3, even 5 years, you eat that way. Rarely would you eat any vegetables. Rarely would you drink a lot of water, sufficient water that your body needs for any given day. Think about what will happen to you if you were to do an executive profile, to do a full body scan, an MRI, an X-ray. I mean, you're doing the whole enchilada, the whole package. You're doing everything to see what is going on inside your body. And then to get a news that you have maybe, which one is worse? I don't know if it's type 1 or type 2 diabetes. You have hypertension. You're suffering from some sort of terminal illness. And the list goes on and on and on, because what has happened is that you didn't realize that your body became like a skip. You know what they call skip, like the garbage bins. Have you ever noticed the skips there? You don't even have to put garbage in it for days. It looks like garbage itself. Even if the garbage truck comes and clears the skip, clears the garbage dump, the bin, it looks like garbage itself because it constantly accepted garbage in it. So as the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. And I'm saying that this is not only on a physiological level or sense, perspective. This goes for your social life, your psychological life, your emotional life, and your financial life, definitely your spiritual life. Now, we live in a world where life is difficult. Life comes with challenges. We see the vitriol that goes on in social media. People have no qualms in tearing down people and laughing. They put a cherry on top with whipped cream. So they laugh while they're mocking you and jeering you and, treating you with disdain and dishonor, disrespect, disregard, hate, resentment, bitterness, malice, anger, murder in their hearts. And we see this every day, and we find different ways of injecting some level of fun. So we tend to gravitate towards things sometimes that are ridiculous, nonsensical, stupid, meaningless, wasteless, and baseless. And notwithstanding, I have no issues with us. We have to create a balance. There is the importance of laughter. The Bible says a merry heart does good like medicine. So there is a place for having a merry heart, for being joyous, for being happy, ecstatic, going out, enjoying life. There is that place, but there is also the place of taking life seriously, as a no joke, not clowning it out. There has to be that balance, because what will happen again is another garbage in, garbage out. Meaning, I've heard of studies that the less you read, that the chances are of you getting some sort of mental deficiency. They tell you like Alzheimer's, dementia. I'm not sure how true this study is, but I can understand when you don't use your God-given abilities and talents and giftings to the fullest, it becomes subpar, and then it falls into mediocrity, and then it falls into deficiency. And when something is deficient, it becomes chronic, it becomes acute, and it is seeking some sort of remedy for treatment, preferably cure. So when you constantly search the media to find people who are vitriolic and rancorous, meaning they're very negative and they hurl evil words at others, they're cursing, they're loud, they're lewd, they're vulgar, they're crass, and they're crude, and you take this in every day, one day after that, 5 years, you're going to realize that bitterness is setting in and you can't place it, you can't trace it. Hardness is has set in, malice has set in, rage has set in, unforgiveness has set in, murder in your heart has set in, hate in your heart has set in, and you're wondering how is it that you've moved to that, not knowing that you were planting the seeds years prior. How is it that you get up daily just listening to people cursing people out or looking at clown business, joke things, and not say, you know what, let me balance it and find some informative programs, something that will uplift the soul, man. Remember, your soul is who you are. It's a driving force of what you do. It's a composite of the mind, the will, and the emotions. So those three amigos, they determine how you act on a day-to-day basis, how you deal with adversities when they come. So some of the nonsense that takes place on social media, even on TikTok, I'm encouraging you to balance it, because it's going to be one day garbage in. You're taking it in, garbage, and then it has to come out at some point. People feel that these things do not affect them. Can I tell you this? Because I've taken up reading for the last few years, even more intensely and very much pointedly. A few weeks had passed and I feel the effects of not reading. It's as though I feel like I was regressing. Like certain things that I would know and be on top of my game with, I feel like I'm lagging behind. There are certain words I don't even remember. I'm struggling to, construct a full paragraph with ease, with tranquility, without having to book shuffle and wondering, oh, what do I say here? You feel the effects of not reading. It's like the person who does not have a health and wellness or healthy lifestyle in terms of what they eat. If you don't eat, they say they have over 20 odd nutrients. I used to hear 21, they say it's more. Whatever the number is, because 21 is still a lot. It is imperative that we take our social life, not just our physical health, but our social health, as paramount. We need to make it, one of the significant things in our life, our spiritual lives, our psychological lives, our emotional lives, our physical lives, but also our social lives. Because I'm telling you, beautiful people, you will regret it one day when you get old and you realize all that is in your brain is and, but, was, and they, and coupled with those words, the indecent language that we know, because you don't know anything. And then your brain becomes deficient. It wants knowledge. It wants wisdom. It wants understanding. And you deprived the brain of same. You deprived the brain of same simply because you wanted enjoyment, as though enjoyment was limited to that type of nonsense and foolery and folly and ridiculous. When you see some of the things, you wonder, really? That's what you call funny and fun? Not understanding that it will eventually affect you. Beautiful people, search for posts on TikTok that uplifts. Don't only just invest. I see a number of people even investing their hard-earned monies in the madness, in the nonsense, and say, they like or I like it. That's fine. That's good that you like them and you like it. But you have to be careful of the burgers and the fries that you're constantly eating, the fried foods that you're constantly eating, the pizzas that you're constantly eating. Don't get me wrong. It's good when, sometimes, infrequently, you may indulge in some of these foods, but you won't make it a habit, because you know what your health status would be in another 2 to 3 or 2 to 5 years. If this is something that you do on a day-to-day basis, be careful, my beautiful people. Listen to uplifting posts, motivational posts, inspiring posts, godly posts, so that your brain can become more knowledgeable, more wise and understanding, so that you can make your life better, the lives of your family and friends better. It helps with longevity and joy. Don't just listen to the madness and the foolery and the stupidity. Listen to some positive things. subscribe to my YouTube channel and the TikTok. Give me a